Okay, my dear friends, so the train is rolling by. We were meant to be leaving 15 minutes ago. It's now midnight on Sunday night, and you gotta put it all in, motherfuckers! Come on! Thinking about the games we play, the games we play with one another. Thinking about the love we share. Can we stay together? Whoa. Okay guys, last couple of days been wrestling with a song in my little spare pockets of time. Bollocks! Diving in now, trying to get this over the line. I want to talk about perfectionism tonight as I just go through my process, because everyone says, oh, don't be a perfectionist. But the other side of it is that they don't say you what to not be perfectionist for. And the thing is you've got to be willing to get deep down and dirty. In my experience, as I make songs, if I'm doing a podcast, if I'm writing, whatever it is that I'm working on, if I can free myself of the expectation that it needs to be good in advance and just instead get into this sort of free flow state. What am I trying to say? What am I trying to express? Sing the song, motherfuckers! Does it have to make sense? You know, all this sort of AI stuff nowadays, everything has to make sense, be formulated perfectly. I have no interest in that. I'm an artist, man. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what are you trying to get out? Well, the things, if you're always trying to bludgeon your way to sense, you're never allowing the thing itself to breathe, to come out of you. So tonight we work on this song. Truthfully, I have absolutely no idea if it's any good. But the other aspect of perfectionism is about hoarding. We all have all these little things that we carry around with us, and they become like albatrosses around our neck. You know, how does one free oneself of the baggage of all these half-formed ideas, half-baked iterations of stuff that we know we could have done, might have done, should have done, and actually just get to like a deeper sense of freedom about our potential, about who we are, what we could be, how we're going to move forward, rather than having this blasted weight on our shoulders forever. Every day I'm dreaming, 'cause I know that we just... So for me, in my case, right, I've got sort of 2,000 half-formed ideas in my voice memos on my phone. And I'm like, what am I going to do with this? Like, am I going to go to my deathbed and am I going to have all my potential best songs sitting around lurking in the shadows that no one ever hears on, going into the dustbin of my own history? And I was like, okay, how can I counteract that? Now, if I just try and perfect songs and take them to the studio, I will probably maybe do 5 or 6 albums in the rest of my life. And I was like, well, I want to do a lot more because I've got a different type of potential in me. Am I willing to do something different? So I'm trying to get into this spirit of just taking an idea a week, not worrying if it's good, if it's bad, if it's shocking, even if I'm excited about it. It's just more, have I had the idea? As I walk into work, give it a quick listen. Am I feeling it? Am I in the vibe? And if I do, I say, right, I'm not going to worry about the other 30, 40, 50, 1,000, 2,000 ideas that I might be able to do this week. I'm just going to commit to the thing itself and say, right, there's the voice memo. There's the idea of the song. Work it up. Stop trying to be perfectionist. Put limitation on it. So I'm only doing 4 or 5 elements, not worrying about drums, not worrying about bass, just acoustic, voice, vibe, smashing up some lyrics. Can I get in the feeling? You know, considering it a first draft of the potential lyric that it might one day potentially be, but just getting it moving so I can make a determination. Am I going to take it to the studio or am I going to chuck it out? Because the thing is, what we forget in the arts is just as important is what we chuck out as to what we do. The problem we've got is we don't allow ourselves to commit to the thing itself, to check out, to see if it's any good in the first place. So we're prejudging it before we actually get it through to the point when we can actually determine whatsoever. And the thing is, if you get the idea and you allow it to breathe, you allow, to start with, that's the voice memo. And then you say, right, We're just going to work it up, see where it goes. Get excited, get your blood going, get into the get into the cage fight with the song. Is there a middle eight? What are the lyrics trying to be? But not saying I'm going to spend 50 years on it, because we're all so busy. We can't perfect anything. We must not perfect anything. Never perfect anything ever again. Fuckity fuck. One little life, one little life. So the question for me with perfectionism is, are you not just building a cage around yourself? Never thought it in my song, maybe I was wrong. Why this cage? Why do you build the cage around you? What is the cage? Why are you trapping yourself in something that essentially stops you going out? What is it on the outside that you're afraid of? And what you're afraid of on the outside is that you might be devoured by the discovery of what it is that you find yourself not to be. And the point is it's not until you're devoured by that particular ghoul that you have the potential to find out what's inside you as you're devoured by it. You have to be devoured by what you're not in order to become who you are. And I know that doesn't make sense to anyone. But this is the whole point. We want everything to make sense. We want each idea to be perfected into a listicle, into a how-to, into this is how the world is. And as AI comes on board, what is the expense of all this sacrifice to trying to show yourself as an authority? Because the whole point of creating anything is it's messy and that it throws you out into the void and you get lost and you have no idea what the trajectory is. You had a compass and you found it was broken. You had a map and you found that there was the point where you most needed it, that it wasn't written, because suddenly, and this is the eureka scream, you're on your journey. And what a wonderful thing that is. If you can trust yourself to get to the point where you can get it in development, you can get it moving, what happens? Your energy returns to you. That's how you rediscover who it is that you might be, because you get into flow and you start having fun and you stop overthinking everything. I have no problem with overthinking. Overthinking is also part of the process. But the point is, we need energy and we often get tired. And what we forget is just by diving into the flow, into the spirit, into the vibration, into the potential, into the yearning, into the sense that we're going to make something today. That is how we give energy back to ourselves. And this is the thing. Who's going to give you the energy? It's not coming from the outside, man. You've got to find it in yourself. And if you overthink it, you don't create the feedback loop that happens through the act of moving. And this is the wonderful thing. You free yourself from this notion of perfection, something else starts coming. It's this feedback loop that you get into movement, your blood gets going, you say, hey, you know what, this song, I think this one's going to be all right.
Just said, all in life, all in life, all in life, all in life, all in life.
Yes, you've got light in you, you've got fire in you. I know sometimes it feels like a void. I know sometimes it feels like a cage. Can we go in and say, right, we're going to bring in a torchlight and we're going to go in irrespective of what we find in, and we're going to start looking around and we're going to start screaming out into it, and we're going to say, what is in there? That's the question. It's like, what is in there means what is in me? What is that potential that is inside you? You know it's in there, that thing that you might be. You might be, but you've got to walk into the abyss. You've got to have the courage to be a clown, that the great idea may not die, as Dostoevsky so poetically put it. So this is my encouragement. Allow yourself to be a clown. Allow to give yourself the courage to walk into the void as the clown that you are. If the world thinks you're a clown, let them think, let them laugh. Let all of the universe laugh, because you know what? You are, you exist, and what's inside of you damn well matters. Let's get in, let's go, guys. I don't know if I'll talk anymore for this video. I just want to get deep down and dirty, baby. All right, let's do this.